What's your name?
So what's going to happen if I don't give you my name?
Then you can be under arrest.
If you are going to threaten us with physical violence, you better make sure you're willing to go all the way, because I am.
The way the law works is if the law doesn't say you can't do it, then you can do it.
If you want to lock people up for not breaking laws,
all men are created equal is the idea that if it is wrong for one man to commit an act, it is wrong for all men to commit that act. Too often, members of our government exclude themselves from the ranks of equal men referenced by Thomas Jefferson when he said.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Craig Hendry channel, Today, we are bringing you a short update. I am just out of Vermilion County Jail. My beautiful girlfriend, Erica, was running the channel in the meantime. She's been working her butt off trying to get me out of that place. And today, with the help of a good friend, we were able to pay the ransom that was being demanded of me by the Vermilion County Sheriff, by the judge in my particular case. I want to give you all some updates. I want to tell everybody about my experience just a little bit. Obviously, I got out of jail a few hours ago. I'm trying to spend the majority of my time with my family, like I'm sure everybody else enjoys doing. But I want to start out by saying it was terrible. It was an awful experience. It was wrong to begin with, and I'm going to go on some other channels and talk about that here in the near future. I think everybody here will know how it was wrong. I want to give everybody an update on where we are as far as what we need to do. So, as most people know, I got charged with 2 new cause numbers out of Greene County, Indiana. It was a Class A misdemeanor, a Class B misdemeanor, and a Class C misdemeanor. It is as easy as ABC, and they did it all illegally. So, and that saw my bond revoked in Vermilion County. Well, I just sat in Vermilion County for 13 days, right? The judge found that because I was simply charged with a crime, that was clear and convincing to him that I had committed it, which shows you the mentality of judges in today's America. If a probable cause affidavit has been filed, if some other idiot judge has approved that probable cause affidavit, then in a judge's eyes, you must be guilty. That shows why bench trials are so inadequate. That shows why jury trials are a must. And even then, the judges hold so much control in their courtroom that you almost never get a fair trial. So anyways, I sat for 13 days in Vermilion County. It was awful. It was the most terrible thing. For the first 48 hours, I was sitting in and I got to talk to nobody. I asked them to give me a book. At first, they refused. Luckily, I doubled down and I was able to get a book. But guys, I want to tell you, I wasn't able to tell you in the first live stream. It looks like we've got 107 people in here right now. In the first live stream, I detailed how my bond was revoked, but we didn't really cover how the new charges were going to affect me, how they're going to play into everything. So I want to say right now that I do want to ask everybody for their help. I need everybody's help because these charges are clearly frivolous. I think anybody with a brain, anybody with 2 eyes can see that. And I really would appreciate any legal monetary help at all. We're going to be doing an official fundraiser with the help of my friend Ty. He has got a plan to raise money for this that is going to cause, nobody's going to have to come out of pocket if they do this. But if you can help, if you are in a position to help, please do. The GoFundMe, Cash App, and PayPal should all be in the description below. I want everybody to tell me if the stream is doing all right. It looks like we're getting a little bit of lag here on my side. I am just in to the comment section. It looks like Ty is in here. Ty, good to see you. I haven't even talked to Ty since I've been out. I've just gotten out. We managed to go out to eat, get some real food. I managed to see what the government has been up to in my absence. It is unfortunate what they've been up to. It looks like they've arrested a man named Chili DeCastro, which is, in itself is an atrocity because we all know what Chili did, whether you like him, whether you don't like him, it's negative. I know that the day that he went to jail, right after that, I went to jail 13 days. And that was unfortunate. I wish that I could have told you guys a little bit more before we had actually gotten to that point. But I want to show you all exactly what these new charges are about because I am trying to, as I say, I'm trying to raise money. And I want to show you guys what these charges are all about. So I'm going to take this opportunity in this live stream to do that. And we are about to bring it up right now. So I want to show you guys first what I was charged with a Class B misdemeanor for. This is getting scary, everybody. This is one of the most important cases in America. All right. I understand that we've got cases going on with cop watching. We've got cases going on with auditors. What is going on in this case is a man went into a city council meeting and told his story. And because of that, and because the police chief didn't like the story, because the police chief didn't agree with the story, he has had me charged with a Class B misdemeanor, which carries up to 180 days in jail. All right. So it's a serious charge. It's a serious issue. And this is exactly why. I'm going to show you guys the incident, and then we're going to look at the probable cause affidavit briefly. And we are going to look at, as well, the actual charge itself and what it entails. So let's get ready. I'm about to show you guys this. Let's get into it.
I represent a faction of people in the city of Linton that are oftentimes not heard, but are still real people nonetheless. They have families and loved ones. I'm here to speak about what's written on the side of our police cruisers here in town, that is to protect and serve. On July 26, 2022, in Linton, Indiana, armed thugs showed up at my home when I was not there. They kicked in the door and searched my house looking for me. Not having any luck when they couldn't locate me, they left.
Sir, what was your name? I didn't catch it.
My name is Craig.
Craig?
Yes,
Last name?
it's Hendry.
Could you,
It's Hendry.
oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
catch that.
No problem. Shortly after I returned home around midnight that night, the aggressors returned as well. They banged loudly on my door and demanded that I allow them entry. They threatened to break into my home if I did not comply with their demands. When I opened the door, I was kidnapped by them and hauled to a concrete cage where they kept me against my will for a period of 45 days. Who were these disrespectful thugs that did this to me, my family, and our property, you may ask? It was none other than the Linton Police Department. They told me the reason that they did this, the reason that they were protecting and serving the absolute crap out of me on this particular occasion, was because I had sold cannabis, a plant that grows from the ground, to consenting adults almost a year earlier. Right? Obviously a good reason to break into somebody's home. Not. They told me that the Linton PD's actions demonstrate the extreme need to abolish this entire department. Right? When the local police are not wandering around aimlessly, spending taxpayer dollars on gas, creating wear and tear on the vehicles that we've paid for, and all the while collecting a generous salary at the expense of the taxpayers, when they are not doing this, it seems they are dead set on terrorizing those of the community that seem to be undesirable to them. Of course, we know that the Linton City Council won't abolish these useless and dangerous tax leeches because they seem to fall into that same category. But to the council members' benefit, they don't personally go out and extort the community through traffic tickets or terrorize them under the color of law. But to the council members' detriment, nobody has advocated that we rid ourselves of this poison that uses taxpayer money to harass taxpayers. In closing this, I will quote the great Thomas Jefferson. He said, quote, "Fellow citizens, a wise and frugal government which shall restrain men from injuring one another shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own affairs." Sorry, let me get this right. Their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. This is the sum of good government, unquote. We can see that in Jefferson's estimation,
Linton has become a bad government, as it is hard to conceive how their actions of destroying my property, kidnapping me, and taking me from my family
and holding me in a concrete cage against my will was geared towards preventing me from injuring another.
To the contrary, this attack on me at the hands of the city of Linton was geared towards injuring me, my reputation, my family's sustenance, but most importantly, it was geared towards depriving me of my liberty, a crime that is unforgivable at best. But in days past, the penalties for taking a man's liberty have risen to the level of death, and I think that shouldn't be forgotten. So with that, the whole purpose of that is I ask that you abolish this terrorist organization that is sponsored by the taxpayers of Linton, Indiana. If there's any questions or comments, I'd be happy to take them at this time.
Appreciate you coming before the council with your concerns. Your concerns have been heard. We have no intention of abolishing the Linton Police Department. We stand behind our law enforcement officers, and I would like to offer the floor to Paul Clark. If you have anything to say in rebuttal to the public comments, sir.
I would say that the public records in Mr. Hendry's case speak for themselves. No need for me to make a comment.
That we haven't received after requesting.
I was talking about the probable cause affidavits and warrants and all those things issued through the
Right,
courts.
but the video of you breaking into my home is still
It's been withheld, right? You have not released this. Why?
This is not a place for the debate of this. It's
Right.
on the comment.
It's because he broke into my home and you guys allowed it to happen, and you back it up. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Sir.
Tony, you have a comment?
So that is the incident in which they charged me with this crime. Now I want to show you the statute that they've charged me with, and this is the charge in which I'm raising money for right now. I have a lawyer in every other case. We have the retainer paid. This is the new charge we need, and we need $5,000 for this retainer. And then the other $1,000 that's on the GoFundMe, that is for the bond money that just came out of one person's pocket. A singular person paid $2,500, and we aren't ever going to get that back from the courts. That's only the bondsman. So we're trying to get a little bit of that back for him. Now, before I show you all the charges, I want to give a little bit of credit to some people who have already donated. This is while I was in jail, most of them, and I want to give credit where it's due. I appreciate everybody for their donations. This is going to be PayPal that I'm reading off. So we have Lee Stallman with $20. We have Ronald Kerr with $10. Alex Bennett III with $20. Danny Story with $25. Mike Vason with $10. Regional Services with $20. He says, best of luck, my friend. I'm not a rich man. I appreciate that. We've got Barry Adams with $20. Stephen Flack with $20. Patrick McDevitt with $4.85. Thank you, Patrick. Michael Hamilton, thank you. $5. Clark Kirby, another $5. Bradley Bennett, $10. Kerry Barnes, $20. All of this stuff is absolutely brilliant. We're going to read off some more names, but I want to show you all right now. I want to show you the charges that have been brought against me by the state of Indiana. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that everybody can see it, okay? So here we've got defendant, and it says me. That's me right there. And then this is it. This is the charge. It is false informing. Defendant makes a false complaint against a law enforcement office. So they are saying that by virtue of me coming to the city hall at the town hall meeting, the city hall meeting in Linton, by virtue of saying what happened to me, that I have committed a crime. Essentially, what they don't like is my speech. They cannot stand for it because anybody who speaks about law enforcement this way, anybody who points out the ridiculousness of these individuals that drive around on our dime all day, and they look for ways to terrorize us. They look for ways to extort us. They look for ways to do anything to us, to steal our property. Now they want to steal our kids. Now they want to do everything to us. They want to do everything. They just kidnapped me and held me for ransom for 13 days until they got their money. These are the most vile, disgusting creatures in the world. And I'm telling you, I went into this fight not expecting this much of a pushback. I was naive. I went into this trying to raise awareness about a government that I didn't think was this bad. But now I see that the freedom of speech is completely gone. You cannot even enter a city hall meeting and tell a story to them, a totally true story, by the way, without them charging you frivolously for the contents of your speech. That's what's happened to me in this particular incident. All right. Now, I want to bring up, and I want everybody to bear with me. I'm sorry that, a little unprepared, but we do have the probable cause affidavit from this case here. And let's see. All right, this is it right here. We've got it up. I'm going to share this tab with you right now. This is the probable cause affidavit, all right, written up by Paul Clark II. And guys, this probable cause affidavit really underscores my need for your support. This shows that these individuals really, really treat me a lot differently than everybody else. They say it themselves in this affidavit. I'm going to read it. I want everybody to follow along. Let's pay attention. Let's see what's going on. So, the undersigned, being duly swore upon his oath, says that upon information and belief that Craig Robert Hendry has committed the offense of false informing as a Class B misdemeanor, and in support thereof, says as follows. I, Paul F. Clark II, am an officer with the Linton Police Department. I graduated with an associate in science degree in law enforcement from Vincennes University in 2001. I successfully completed the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy in 2002. I have specific training in multiple disciplines of criminal investigations, as well as courses of study in areas of crime scene management, processing, and investigation. I am a state-certified medical legal death investigator. I am also a certified police instructor in multiple disciplines. It is my duty to investigate criminal acts, collect and use probative forensic evidence to identify suspects and solve crimes, to interview victims, witnesses, and suspects, and prepare investigative reports to support the prosecution of suspects. I am assigned to work as chief of police, and I drive... Oh, guys, I haven't even been sharing this. Let me get this up. Sorry. Everything I read to you is exactly right. You'll have to take my word. But let's continue on. I am assigned to work as chief of police, and I drive an unmarked patrol car. As such, I share responsibilities between those of a police officer and with those of the department's administrator. I also work and assist as needed with general patrol and investigative responsibilities as well. On March 11th, I was present at the City of Linton Council meeting at Linton City Hall in my capacity as chief of police. The City of Linton is a municipality located entirely within Greene County in the state of Indiana. The meeting was the council's regularly scheduled monthly meeting in which the City of Linton formally conducts its business. Generally, during these meetings, all elected officials are present. During the March 11th, 2024 meeting, all 5 council members were in attendance, as well as the mayor and the clerk treasurer. The meeting was conducted, and near the end, the mayor offered a public comment session to those in attendance. One member of the crowd approached to address the council. I recognized and knew that male subject to be Craig Robert Hendry. Now, I want to make it clear to everybody that this is the beginning of it. He identifies that he knows me, but he will actually go on to say that he treats me differently, that police in my area treat me differently. This is why I need your help fighting this case, everybody. This is scary. This has gotten to the point where your government will admit to treating you different if you speak out against them. This is not America. This is not the idea that it started with, but I'll tell you, this was always the end game. This was always where they saw it going. Stay tuned to my Craig Hendry channel. If you haven't subscribed to Craig Hendry, go look up Craig Hendry on YouTube. It's a picture of me. You're going to want to subscribe to that. We will go over issues like that on there in a more long format. But I am telling you, this is exactly how it was intended to be, and this is why I need your help. So, continuing on. Craig Hendry presents himself to be a First Amendment auditor, which is how everybody seems to describe myself. But I think as most people will realize, I changed the name from chandtyaudits quite a while ago, right? I have been doing a lot of stuff, right? I have not called myself a First Amendment auditor for a long time. This is what everybody else wants to call me. My name is Craig Hendry. I am a man. That's what I present myself to be. I wish people in the profession of law enforcement would try to do the same, because instead of acting like men, we know what they act like. But let's continue on. Craig Hendry presents himself to be a First Amendment auditor and makes videos of his encounters with government officials in which he tries to provoke the government officials into arguments or improper actions. And of course, he totally leaves out how one would try to provoke somebody into an argument or an improper action. That is not what I do at all. That is exactly the opposite of what I do. What I do is I walk around, right? That's just what I do. I just walk around in public, and these government officials just can't seem to behave themselves. That's not my fault, right? He then edits and posts the videos onto monetized social media accounts and platforms. In this area, he is well known for these actions throughout the law enforcement community, as well as many other government entities. Due to these circumstances, law enforcement officers are hyper-vigilant and hyper-cognizant while interacting with Craig Hendry. Hyper-cognizant, that doesn't mean you're treating anybody any different. But if you're going to be hyper-vigilant with me, it almost implies that you're going to enforce the law really unequally, like almost as if you're going to use your position as a law enforcement officer against me in sort of a vigilante way, which is that is precisely what these disgusting people do. That is exactly what they do. Now, Craig Hendry presented to the council a prepared statement. Again, we're back in the affidavit here. During his prepared statement, Hendry made a number of allegations regarding the Linton Police Department. He also indicated that his intent by making this complaint was to, quote, abolish this terrorist organization that is sponsored by the taxpayers of the city of Linton, Indiana, unquote. Now, he words that as if I'm going to abolish them, as if I have the power to abolish them. I never once made the claim that I was going to abolish them. I pleaded with the council. I pleaded with the people who have the ability to stop funding to this terrorist organization to stop funding them. He hates that. I'm going to tell you why he hates that, everybody. Why don't you leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me why you think he hates it. I'm going to continue on, and after I stop, I'm going to address why I think he hates it. I'm interested to see what you all think. We're back to the affidavit. Throughout his statement, Hendry makes it overtly obvious that he is referring to the Linton Police Department. Many of those allegations are false. Hendry would have known the statements he was making were false because he was present during the events. The events that Hendry referred to occurred in Linton, Indiana on July 26, 2022. The information contained in the following review of the allegations and events are memorialized in audio and video recordings from police records. All right. Now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you why he hates it. He hates it because if that police department was abolished, this fat man, Paul Clark II, would not be allowed to sit on his behind any longer and collect an extremely generous salary at the expense of everybody else while using that money to actively terrorize everybody that pays him. That's why he doesn't like it. Terrorists love people that aren't going to fight. That's what it is. And when they start fighting, a terrorist might need to use his power to put that person back in his place, right? And that's what they want to do. So right now, actually, I'm going to go down because he goes on to claim that what I say is a absolute lie about him kicking in my door. All right. Now, he goes on to claim that he has no records of them kicking in my door, that he wasn't there when they kicked in my door. But after reviewing body-worn camera footage from certain Linton police officers, who, by the way, one of them has picked up a felony charge since this incident. Maybe somebody else would cover that. I'm not going to cover that. One of them has picked up a felony charge. This is a 5-page affidavit in which he goes on to say that in essence what I say is correct, but he just goes on to claim that they didn't kick in my door. Now, he goes on to claim that he threatened me if I didn't kick in my door. He goes on to claim that I was present during all the events, so I would know if they kicked in my door. But of course, this guy's a complete buffoon. Right? I'm not going to go into the details, but I'm going to tell everybody. I did not lie in that video. I do not go around cooking up false allegations on police officers. There's no need to. There is no need to cook up false allegations on police officers. They misconduct themselves just fine without my help at all, right? But the deal is that I've gone and made this speech. I've gone and complained to the city council. And what did I get in return? A criminal charge. Everybody, this is so dangerous. I want you to imagine going to your city council meeting, telling a story, and because the city council, because the police chief, because the police department doesn't like or doesn't agree with your story, you are going to be charged and potentially thrown in a concrete cage. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I am asking very humbly for everybody's support here. Everybody, if you could send me $5, $10, anything would help, because these tyrants will stop at nothing. They just kidnapped me and held me for 13 days. They just held me for 13 days against my will. I had to turn myself in, because if I didn't, they were going to come breaking through that door again. When my family's here, when my beloved son, when my beloved woman is here, my woman who's pregnant, by the way, who they're trying to take me away from her before she has our next child, who, by the way, I have a brilliant announcement to make. We've got 395 people in the room. I'm very proud to say that I will be the father of a girl who is due July 29th. We haven't thought up a name yet, but we are expecting a girl. We just had the gender reveal party. I was absent for it. I was held in the cage during the gender reveal party. I wasn't allowed to be there. I was in jail in Easter, right? I was in jail for my son losing his first tooth. These are things that I'll never, ever be able to get back. I'll never have that time back. They took that from me, and they want to take that from me again, people. They want to steal that from me. There are some who will laugh and mock at my problems and my issues, and they'll say that I'm the cause of it. And I say to them, you're such a brave person to mock and make fun of somebody who's standing against the most considerable power in the world at this point in time. So it takes a very brave man. Now, I want to make sure I've been live for 26 minutes. Everybody, I want to go into one more thing. I want to show everybody one more thing. I don't even know that I got it up precisely right now. I'm going to have to get it up. I want to show you what I got charged with a Class A misdemeanor for right before. This is what my bond was revoked for. This is what the judge said there was clear and convincing evidence that I was guilty in. And I want to show you the video of that before we miss our opportunity here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, you know what? It's on Drive. It's on Google Drive. I'll have to pick it up. While I am pulling that up, I'm going to leave you guys to watch the rest of the interaction at the city hall meeting, at the city council meeting. And then by the time that's done, I'll have the video up. So here's the rest of it. This gentleman addresses me.
What I'd like to say is the city council does not control the police department whatsoever. The police department itself has the chief and the head to the mayor. And if there's a problem, I'm sure the police has the reason to do what they do. But then if there's a problem with it, it becomes a civil matter, or it will come from the Board of Public Works and Safety, not the city council. The Board of Works and Safety would handle if there is an issue. And like I say, I don't know what happened, sir. I mean,
fair enough.
I'm sure if the police did not have probable cause or whatever, they wouldn't kick in doors. They don't like doing that.
It's all subjective, sir, but I would like to ask, you can not appropriate the funds if you wanted. You could just stop funding to this organization if you saw fit.
This ain't New York. I make the motion, we adjourn.
Right.
I second it.
So they go on to say this ain't New York. Even though New York is quite clearly, it's the biggest police state, I think, in the world. I think they've got the biggest police department there in New York City. I don't know about the sheriffs there, but now we have for you the incident that I was charged with. I was charged with interfering for this. Now, I want to actually bring up the charge before we show the incident so that everybody can see what we're talking about. I'm going to share this tab right here. This is the state of Indiana versus Craig Hendry. That's me. Now, the charges are right here. Count 1, resisting law enforcement. Defendant knowingly or intentionally forcibly resists, obstructs. That's the charge. Then they're saying that I violated the unlawful encroachment on an investigation by coming within 25 feet. They say I came within 25 feet of a law enforcement officer during his investigation. This is the video, people. This is the video. I'm about to show you the video. What you're looking at right now is Tyler's footage from that incident. You know what? I don't even want to cut y'all short. I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything, like I'm nitpicking. I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to let this whole thing play out. If anybody wants to watch it, you can watch it. We're going to let this thing play out, and I am going to go and visit with my family in the meantime. I'll be back by the end of this, and I will discuss these charges. We'll go over the probable cause affidavit if we can find it, and then I will ask you all for some more help with donations because people, I'll be honest, I want everybody to understand. I went into this expecting my government to at least put on the facade of still defending our rights. But now it has become clear to me that at any cost to their reputation, at any cost to the way that they look, to the way that they appear, they are willing to shut me up. They are willing to throw me in a cage in any way necessary. This is what they charged me with a crime. They charged me with a crime, with a criminal violation. This is the video. I'm going to show it to you right now. I don't want to go on anymore. This is the video. Completely unedited, by the way. I'm 25 feet away. Okay, and I'm going to tell you to do your job. Don't worry about me. Wow, dude. You're a real prick. Stay 25 feet away from me. Is the stop still going? Is the stop still going? Are my lights still on? Nobody's in the car. You don't know who's in what. Nobody's in that car. The cop says to me, you don't know who's in what. I say there's nobody in the car. He says, you don't know who's in what. I said I was going to let the whole thing play out. Everybody, I want to get this wrapped up. I want to thank John Gray for becoming a member. I want to thank TubeSock for his $5 super chat. Thanks a lot, TubeSock, the 7th. That's great. Thank you. It's terrific. I really appreciate that. Before I get off the live stream, I'm going to go over some new donations from PayPal and Cash App. It looks like we've gotten a few. I want to make sure that we acknowledge some people on the GoFundMe, if that's possible. I didn't set up the GoFundMe. I don't know how that works. But I'm going to skip forward to, he says, I don't know who's in the car. I think he's right. So I go and get my flashlight. All right. Let's see. I don't know exactly where it is. We'll fast forward it just a little bit. So that's it right there. Oh, man. He is not happy about this. I just got to see. So as you can see, there I'm looking in the back, trying to see if I can see anybody in the back of the car. Nobody.
There's somebody in the passenger seat.
There is, bro. I saw him.
You see him?
I did see him.
I don't know if they're the suspect though, or if it's another police officer.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Couldn't tell.
It really could be a suspect considering that there is a car there, but we don't know what's going on. safety issue. I'm asking you to stop.
What's the safety issue?
Shining a light in my eyes.
Can you take the light out of my eyes?
No, you can leave the traffic stop. I'm doing that for a particular purpose.
So he says he's shining the light in my eyes for a particular purpose. Oh goodness. I don't even know if I was showing you guys that. Oh goodness. I wasn't even showing you guys the video. Well, hey, I'm going to show you guys the video here. This is what he says right here.
It's a safety issue. I'm asking you to stop.
What's the safety issue?
Shining a light in my eyes.
Can you take the light out of my eyes?
No, you can leave the traffic stop. I'm doing that for a particular purpose.
What purpose?
It's none of your business. But I'm
So
telling
is it against
you,
the law for me to shine it in your eyes?
I'm telling you, you're interfering with my traffic stop, and I'm going to forward it to the prosecutor, and we'll see if he thinks it's against the law for you obstructing.
What are you going to do if I shine the light in your view?
I'm telling you to stop.
What are you going to do? Are you threatening me with arrest? So the guy clearly just has a fit. And by the way, when that full video comes out, we haven't even had a chance to publish the full video static yet. It's only been on live streams. When that full video comes out, you'll see the flashlight doesn't ever go. The flashlight light never hits that officer again because he was having a hissy fit. I saw he was dangerous, and I decided to stay away from it, right? But they are claiming that by a flashlight entering that man's vehicle, that they are claiming that I broke a law that says that in order to break it, I have to forcibly resist, obstruct, or interfere with a law enforcement officer engaged in his lawful duties. Now, I don't know how much force a flashlight has behind it. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comment section below. I want to go ahead and read these super chats. Joe Cool, I really appreciate you being here. Joe Cool was one of the first big channels to go and cover one of my videos, and he has been here ever since. I love his channel. You want to go check him out. We've got Jayhawk, not much, might help. Jayhawk, everything helps. Thank you so much for that contribution. And we have got a very difficult, we've got Snake Finger. They put us $3 super sticker. Thank you, Snake Finger, very much. Now, everybody, I am trying to solicit, I am trying to solicit any donations possible for these cases. These cases are horrendous. I've gotten a few quotes from lawyers. The cheapest one is $5,000 for both of the cases that you just saw put into one. Obviously, we've got to do 2 separate jury dates, but for pretrial, we'll put them into one. We're going to get it all taken care of. Tire Reviews just put the Cash App in there. I see Lenny Cottingham in the comment section with the PayPal link. Thank you, Lenny. Always good to see you here, brother. I see Harvey Freebird in the chat. Thanks for being here. I see For Public Safety. Thank you for texting me, For Public Safety. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Now, I actually want to address a comment that I just saw. It says, obstruction, no physical interference required, Nevada versus DeCastro. That is an absolute joke. That man is being held against his will for absolutely no reason other than he bruised the ego of public officials. This is an atrocity. This is an absolute horrendous act by our government. People, we support our government. I don't care who you are, what your opinions are. When you send that tax check, you are supporting, in essence, you are supporting those people doing that to Chile. You're supporting these people doing this to me. You're supporting these people doing this to Long Island Audit. Everybody in the game, people, everybody in the game of just exposing the government or even of just voicing unpopular opinions. They are being attacked and we are funding it. You have to decide what you're going to do about that. I can't decide for you, but this is do or die time, people. Patrick Henry famously said, give me liberty or give me death. But something something that didn't get so famous was right before the Constitutional Convention started, he refused to attend, even though he was selected to attend the Constitutional Convention. He refused to attend. He said, I smell a rat. And it was because he was under the impression that they were going to do something at this convention that was illegal. It was going to empower the government far beyond any measure that we had even suggested after the Revolutionary War, and that it was a whole bunch of ill-willing people doing a whole bunch of ill-willed things to a majority, and he didn't like it. People, we are living in that world today. This is a very scary, scary place, the United States of America. But just on happenstance, it seems to be our home. These people are tearing it apart. They're tearing us apart from our family. They tore me away from my loved ones, from my little boy. They tore me away from my little boy. He lost his first tooth when I was in there. We had a gender reveal party. My kid had an Easter egg hunt. I mean, I missed all of this stuff. I missed absolutely all of this stuff. And everybody, I am just the medium through which they do this to you. I'm out here doing it because everybody else is too occupied. They've got their own agenda. I'm out here trying to do this for you, trying to help you, trying to show you what these people are willing to do to you. Because if they're willing to do it to me, I'm not special. I'm not under any delusions that I'm special. Because if they're willing to do it to me, they're more than willing to do it to you. And if they're willing to do it to me with 355 people, with maybe perhaps 300 Americans and 55 foreigners. By the way, for the foreigners watching, I'm absolutely ashamed that this is the state of my country. This is absolutely this is a tragedy, everybody, a tragedy. With all this stuff being said, I am going to sign off. I love you all. I love my freedom. I'm glad to have what little of it I can salvage. I'm going to give some more updates. This stuff is absolutely, I'm at a loss for words when it comes to describing this stuff, people. I'm at a loss for words. Look towards the Craig Hendry channel. I want everybody to subscribe there. We're going to be doing a fundraiser on that channel and this channel for this particular thing. Before I sign off, I'm going to get to any new donations that we just received. We received 2 new donations that I'm seeing, and I want to thank the people that did that. I want to thank them very much. It looks like we have got two new donations from William Houston. It's a $20 donation. He says, thank you for, I always see Constitutional Freedom Fighter. Thank you for being here, man. And thank you so much for your donation. He gave a $10 donation. Thank you so much. I'm going to check Cash App. I think we may be logged out of Cash App. So I'm going to read off some Cash App donations before we go. Elaine Rose came in 8 minutes ago with $25. Ty McNabb, I always see Ty McNabb. Ty McNabb has been on a few live streams of mine before, and hopefully we'll see him again when we do some panels. Ty McNabb came in with $50 8 minutes ago. Dennis Carroll earlier today, $20. John Westerland, $5 on here. Jerry Harvey, $10. It looks like Michael Grant, $7. Matt Hurley, $10. $25 from Karen Geringer. Tom Huxley with 10, Brandon Etter with 20, Auditing Erie County with $100. By the way, I've been in contact with Auditing Erie County. That guy is a great guy. That guy is he's a freedom fighter as well. He's going through his own stuff in out there, I believe in Auditing Erie County. I mean, is that in Washington, I believe? Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be Ohio. But either way, you're going to want to go over there and check out his channel because the guy has been made a victim by this tyrannical state so many times. It's not funny. It never has been funny. It never will be funny. So then we got Robert Harkin, Larry McCray, 20 from Robert, 40 from Larry. We got Cecil Davis with $5. We've got, oh, by the way, right before I went to jail, speaking of Chili sent me $110. He wanted to fund me going and covering a man in Indianapolis's trial. I wasn't able to make it because the state issued warrants that day. So I had to send $110. Now, I didn't spend it. I had sent $110 back to Chili. I was hoping to talk to him. I didn't know he was still in jail. This is a absolute heartbreaker, people. I was sitting in jail for $13, or I was sitting in jail for 13 days, not dollars. Days are worth a lot more than dollars. Sitting in jail for 13 days. Chili's been sitting in jail for 14 days now, I believe. He just had his appeal turned down. I want to cover that. I'm going to cover that on the second channel. By the way, I want to thank everybody in here, everybody who's joined. I want to thank the trolls for being in here and showing your support. Nobody really reads your comments except I'm seeing people, trolls are in the chat. Well, I guess thanks. I do see Audio Maniac. Everyone is in jail. I wonder why. Now, I want to tell everybody why right before I sign off. America is the biggest police state in the world. Anybody who hasn't grasped that yet is living in a delusion. We have not 10% of the world's population within our borders. And within those borders, we have 25% of the world's total prisoners en masse, right? We have 25% of the world's total imprisoned population. Yet we claim to be the most free country in the world. To all of those public officials who work for, support, lend money to, lend resources and time towards stealing your fellows, your neighbors' freedom, their money, their prosperity, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. But because you're here, because you're watching my video, I'll forgive you. I just hope that every other American can when it comes time. Now, with that being said, everybody, stay free, stay vigilant, figure out what your plan is to deal with this tyranny that we live in. Email me at chandtyaudits@gmail.com. Look forward to more live streams. We're going to cover all the events. We've got more equipment coming for better quality live streams. We want to get you all the biggest, we want to get you guys the best and biggest channel that we can possibly give you for exposing the tyrannical government. So that being said, please donate. We need this for legal funds. Please keep watching. This is the most important thing in the USA. This is the most important thing in our lifetimes. Some people quarrel over sports. Some people quarrel over, I don't know, the most lame things, work disputes. But we are quarreling over our right to self-ownership. We are quarreling over our right to freedom, people. The freedom of our children. What is more important? All right, everybody, for the last time, I'm signing off. Thank you all. I love you all. Stay free. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm so glad that everybody was able to join me in this live stream. God bless you all. God bless America.